Hey everyone, hope you had a phenomenal Christmas. I know that I did. So as we are looking forward to the 2020 year, I just want to hopefully, sometimes we get caught up into the mundane day-to-day activities. We sometimes forget the Father and the family that we belong to. So I just want to remind you, as you plan for the 2020 and what your goals are, just to raise that level of expectation, not just for you, but for me as well. And let me just remind you of some of the so-called impossible that became possible, because my focus has been on Mark 9:23. If you can believe, all things are possible to him who believes. So let's just run down some of the scenarios that occurred in the Word, just to remind you of the family that you belong to. You had a 99-year-old male and a 90-year-old female give birth to a son. You had a bush that was engulfed with fire that did not burn up in Exodus 3. A stick turned to a snake, turned back to a stick in Exodus 7. Millions crossed through the sea on dry ground, Exodus 14. Shoes and clothes that did not wear out for 40 years in Deuteronomy 2:7. You had bread falling from the sky to feed millions, as is stated in Exodus 16. You had water come out of a rock to hydrate millions of people along with their livestock in Exodus 17. You had a dry stick that was not attached on either end, bud and blossom and grow almonds overnight, as is stated in Numbers 17. You had a donkey that spoke in Numbers 22. You had people could walk around a city, and when they yelled, city walls collapsed, as is stated in Joshua 6. You had a man call on God, and the sun and moon stood still for almost a whole day in Joshua 10. God called for the sun to go backwards for almost a whole day, as is stated in Isaiah 38. Think about that. Backwards. The sun go back. I mean, that just, ravens brought food to a man morning and evening, as stated in 1 Kings 17. And those are wild birds. It ain't like they were trained. You know what I'm saying? You had thousands of people that ate and were full from a little boy's lunch. You had people that was blind men seeing, deaf people hearing. You had lame people walking. You had Lazarus raised from the dead after being dead for 4 years. I was like, Jesus walked on the water. They had needed tax money, and they sat back and caught a fish and paid the tax bill. I was like, the severed ear from the soldier that was cut off by Peter and then was put back on and back to normal. I was like, you had a virgin conceive our King, our Savior. So I want you to think about that going into 2020, going, man, am I limiting my thought processes and kind of basing on my strengths, or am I starting to base 2020 on his strengths? It's so exciting to know the level of possibilities are limitless when you know that you and God are on the scene. So I wish you the best New Year's coming up. And I really want you to think about that so you can raise that level of expectation. I appreciate you guys. I thank you so much. And remember, if you're not putting pressure on the Word, then who is? Be blessed.